In this next section here, Matej is going to talk about using cybersecurity strategy to your benefit. I'm sure many of you are aware of your country's cybersecurity strategy and thought it'd be a long, boring document. Matej is going to show you that it's not. It's an opportunity. So I'll give it to you. Thank you.
Do you hear me? Awesome. I am not sure. OK. Thank you. Good afternoon. I see a lot of familiar faces and friends and people involved in the community. I'm very happy you are here. My name is Matej Šalmík. I'm from Slovakia. I'm working for a national cybersecurity center, SK-CERT. And I try to explain to you why you need to care about national cybersecurity strategy or cybersecurity strategy as a topic. As I said, I'm working for NCSC. I am head of training, awareness, cooperation, and support center. The name is so long because I try to care about all non-technical things. I am focused on process development, strategy stuff, awareness raising, trainings, exercises, and so on. First of all, I will disappoint you because the perfect strategy doesn't exist. It's too broad, too complex topic, and it's too dynamic to capture everything in one single document, you know? And it's not routine work. It's a long-term effort, and that's it. Please calm down. Perfection is not the goal. Yes, I introduced myself, and in this session, I will provide you, or I will explain you the problem, some case study, and how to troubleshoot problems and issues in developing of national cybersecurity strategy. I have a question for you, very important. From your point of view, why is security a necessity in the life? I don't know. It's a second slide. I don't see it yet. Please. Why? You don't know why. Yeah, please.
Because the alternative is much worse.
Yeah. OK, thank you. It's a very easy. Security is enabler, you know? Enabler for a business. If is security working, the business is thriving, and you can sell your products. You will provide value for people, for your customers. The same in governmental stuff, you know? When governmental services are secure, that citizens can use it with the trust, that's very important, and anytime. And yes, you are important. It's a life enabler. You need the security for life. You need the security for your family, you know? Mothers-in-law either, you know? Don't worry. And for your friends too. It's a life enabler. And why we need the strategy on national level? Guess, please. Don't be shy. Great. Thank you. The first point, the cybersecurity is a big room, bigger like this room. It's a, you know, very big. You have a lot of furniture there, a lot of stuff, socks, yeah, you know, guns, everything, from little things to big values. You need to clean up your room, to organize the things. You need the system in cybersecurity, how we deal with it, you know? And a vision where we would like to be in the next 5, 10 years. And some principles, you know, how we want to fulfill our role. And there is so many values in cybersecurity you need to protect, and systematically. That's very important. On national level, you need to do right choice what to protect, to set up your priorities. And why are you so important, you all? Why? Okay, I know for tech-savvy people, for analysts, for engineers, this paperwork is quite boring stuff. Who is playing the CTF here? Hands up. Okay. Not so many people. Okay. You remember some challenges, not very technical, more social engineering stuff there, and Googling. Yeah, it's quite boring for technical people to make OSINT or something. It's the same in the cybersecurity strategy. But, you know, for every challenge in the CTF, you gain the points, and that's it. You need to do that. And you need to do that with a responsible subject or responsible organization for the cybersecurity strategy. Okay. You are so good because you're thinking out of the box, you know? You are living outside the bureaucratic bubble, you know? Usually the bureaucrats, as I am, they do not have really idea about the real life outside, you know? They're sitting in the office, you know, and do something. But they need inputs, the real inputs about the real security life outside the organization, yeah? And the professionals understand security in all different angles. And they can see more issues, more connections, more consequences. And I know you want to be involved in this process because your contribution and your input is more important as you see, no? And as all of people in community, you don't want chaos in cybersecurity. Okay, something about the cybersecurity strategy itself. You have a lot of things in cybersecurity strategy written down, but you have a core pillars. I call it core pillars. First of is vision. Second is the principles, threats, and goals. Yeah, you have another important parts that are in a cybersecurity strategy, for example, stakeholders or partners, financing, implementation methods, and so on. But these core pillars is necessary in every strategy, not only in a national cybersecurity strategy. Okay, we have a vision. It's more a philosophical concept, you know, the highest goal you can formulate in one sentence. It's so ambitious and so broad, it's like your cloak castle, you know, and it's more a conceptual thing based on your approach to security at national level. It's an ultimate political, security, social, and business goal. For example, this is ours in our strategy. Strengthen and create an open, free, and secure cyberspace for everybody. Principles. Very simple, it's boundaries, no red lines. I have a note, it's that Gandalf thing, you shall not pass this, you know? And this determines the responsibility and accountability at national level. And is based on current state of security governance in your country. This is the things you follow in security governance. Another example from our strategy. The threats. Please do not underestimate power of threat analysis. It's very, very important to provide comprehensive analysis of threats. You can use the data from annual reports, data from CTI reports, data from sectoral risk assessments, from threat landscapes, all documents that defines or determines threats. Please do not focus on small threats like organization level. You need to look at the nationwide or society-threatening threats, no? And you need to look to the future, because you need to determine or predict possible threats that shall be current in the next years, next 5, 10 years. Another example, I like lack of professional staff. It's highest threat around the world, or weak detection. And my favorite from our experience is lax approach to requirements arising from legislation, especially in Europe. It's a huge problem. And last but not least, the goals. It's a success you want to achieve. You know, it's something unlike vision. Here is a place for real issues, real objectives, and this is based on the threats and principles as too. Principles set the boundaries, threats set priorities. Every objective must be measurable and real. And my recommendation from our developing, please assess the current status of activities in topic that goals or objectives covered, and then determine goals to be achieved. That's very important. You know the current state of the objectives and the whole topic. Okay. For example, in our strategy, we have 7 strategy goals or strategic objectives. I choose 4 of them. For example, resilient private sector, strong partnerships, reliable state prepared for threats, and well-educated professional and broadly educated population. Okay. What we have to do? Please study and analyze another strategies, not only security strategies, because inspiration will be hidden everywhere. Yeah, never refuse help. If you are responsible for developing national security strategy, never say no to help. On the other hand, if you wanna contribute to this document, never refuse to offer helping hand. Please help your responsible parties, responsible organization to develop strategy. Never guess, analyze, 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 especially threats. Because you can guess in a casino, not in a security, you know that. And be real. There is no some Santa Claus or some another guy that make your wishes come true, you know? Be real. You will do that. You will implement the strategy. And don't waste your time with a walk and with the words, with your time. Be focused on your goals, and you know, long text are boring stuff, even for professional. Not only for professional, but even for common people. And speak human, not like me, okay? I tried to present you a case study. Or national cybersecurity strategy on your left there. The development started in 2012, and it was approved by government on January 7th. That means we have a strategy for 2 years, 2.5, roughly. We have 7 strategy goals, and in this strategy, we identify national stakeholders and partners and foreign partners. We determine the financing and way to implementation. We had some challenges because we do not have enough hard data on threats. We guess. I admit, we guess a lot. And another challenge was the measurement of previous strategy. We do not have KPIs in previous strategy, then we don't know what's happened, you know? And responsible subjects lied or mislead about the achieved goals. And that was a crucial problem because we don't know what's happened in previous strategy and previous action plan. Another maybe funny thing, no one cares in community about the strategy. They don't know that it's something we need. And as well, we didn't have a methodology to assess financial impact of the strategy. Yes, and we start a little bit late. This is TLP Red. We start 3 months before publishing, and you need to consider the public consultation process and all that stuff that we have like 1.5 months or 2 months to write down the good strategy. The outcomes. A lot of luck on our side because our strategy goals was approved by community very well. In the end of the day, community showed the effort, but there was some community members that blame whole process, you know. Other countries have better strategies and you don't understand things, all that stuff, you know, but they don't contribute or don't show the way how to do it. You know, only blaming the whole process and the strategy itself. Luckily, there was no some tensions or problems during the public consultations with stakeholders. But guess why? Why no problems? Okay, there is no task, no work there. Strategy is not about the tasks, not about the work. It's a vision. It's something we want to have to do, but no way to do. There is no task. That's the reason. Some lessons learned. My advice, a recommendation: start in advance. You know. If you do not have national cybersecurity strategy, start now. You know? Do not wait for nothing. You need as much data as possible. Try to analyze every report, every document you have on your side. Focus on the evaluation of previous strategies or previous conceptual documents. You need to know what you achieved, you know, and which another objective is important. You can, through this, you can set up the priorities. And everything costs the money. Don't forget on financing. And as well, promote your strategy. Strategy needs PR, some people in our community in Slovakia do not still know about the strategy. That's a huge problem. Okay. The last part of my presentation is implementation and measurement, the crucial thing, most important. Yes, you have a strategy where you have a vision, principles, threats, goals, all that stuff. But you need an action plan, roadmap. Strategy is on the wish list. You need a roadmap, to answer the question what, how, who, much important, and when. Yeah, action plan is roadmap to success. Doable tasks. Yeah, every quest in the games, every quest is intent for a hero. That you need to think about the competencies of stakeholders. Every task should have a lifetime, because never-ending task will be never completed. Trust me. Measurement, as I said, you need KPIs or measurable indicators or maturity assessment or maturity scale, because you need to know there's a desired state of every task. And without this, you cannot say if a task is complete or not, Okay? Yeah, and lessons learned from our developing action plan. On the start, we develop or provide small task forces like 6, like special interested groups, here in first. On each topic, on each goal, we provide a small task force. And that means every task was based on a real need of community. Because the people in this 6 was from community, not from ministries and state organizations, but from community. We designed the monitoring team, which monitor the implementation of action plan every 3 months. And another lesson learned, very important, was because action plan means work, that some stakeholders try to refuse their task with big success in public consultations. But the boomerang is back, because now they admit, the same stakeholders, that refused tasks was good and necessary, that they will implement or they will do this task outside the action plan because the tasks are crucial or very important. Okay, and very quickly, for every domain, provide a SIG, communicate, set KPIs, monitor it, and build confidence. And one sentence at the end. If you're looking for good examples, every national cybersecurity strategy is a good example. I promise. Okay, last words. Be creative, do it with passion, be simple and realistic, cooperate, and focus on your vision and goals. Thank you so much. Any questions?
Right, then I have a question. How do you get your community or your constituencies to take ownership of such a strategy? Do you have any tips to us?
Sorry, I don't really hear you.
How do you get them to take ownership of such a strategy so they don't feel like it's forced upon them?
Yeah, the stakeholders that implement the strategy is most ministries and state organizations, but there are some tasks for community, and they are really involved. And they implement better like a state organization because the confidence. We have a very good relationship with community, and that's it.
Hello.
Hello.
So I'm Rebecca from the Cyber Center. One thing that I have observed when the Government of Canada is planning national cyber strategies is that the lifetime for one cyber strategy is 5 years. So while the Canadian Cyber Center releases our national cyber threat assessment every year at a threat level, the strategies has to be built with 5 years in advance. What are some strategies that you've employed to ensure that your national strategy lasts for as long as it needs to until the next edition comes about?
My plan, but it's only my wish, after this period in 2025, we will develop a strategy without the lifetime, and we will assess it every year or two on the threat level and a goal level. And the best idea is to provide more actionable action plans, only for 2 years, for example, or 3 years, with very specific tasks. You can do it. Yeah.
Good afternoon. You mentioned SIGs, but I'm curious about, do you have for your strategy a steering committee or a strategic committee that not only provide M&E but also financial support?
We have
governance?
We have the monitoring team that monitor and evaluate an implementation. But about the financing, we have a particular task. There is a responsible body for financing of tasks in the strategy, but it's not work very well.
So to understand, you have several bodies monitoring and providing governance to your strategy. Is that correct?
In that monitoring team, there is every responsible body. There is a big group. It's not only a single person or a single committee based on NSA or on National Security Authority. It's a broad group of people. Yeah.
Anyone else? Right. Oh, we have a question over there.
Thanks for your presentation. You measured measurement, but you also measured the importance of building confidence with your stakeholders and how that was an important factor to getting their buy-in and stuff to implement the plan. I know from a capacity building perspective, confidence and trust is such an important thing that you work for, but I've never been able to find a good way to measure it or to demonstrate that it's growing. Do you have any suggestions on how to do that?
Unfortunately, I'm not sure how to measure building of a confidence. It's about the relationship and mostly on personal relationship, and that's it. I'm not sure, but from my point of view, you can't really measure the confidence, but you can build it only,
All right. Thank you all for your questions. I would like again to remind you of the survey. And with that, we say thank you to Matej.